What is up, you guys? Glitchiz here, coming at you with another Dauntless video. But first, if you enjoy quality gaming content or informational videos like the one I'm posting today, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And if you enjoyed today's video, then be sure to smash that like button as always and comment down below. I appreciate all of you guys' feedback. Makes me a better content creator and helps make videos you guys actually want to watch. That being said, in today's video, I want to go over all the killer updates that are coming with patch 1.6.0. There's a lot of stuff to go over, but it's really cool updates that we've all been waiting for quite a while now. The first things first, though, is the Trials goals and the new weapon leaderboards in the Trials Island. We will now have additional Trials goals, and the way that our time is calculated in these top 100 times is a little bit different now. We have objectives now that you can get, potentially 5 of them in normal Dauntless, 3 that get taken into consideration with the Dauntless difficulty. So interesting changes there, and I think it's going to make it a lot more viable for a lot more people. But the other cool thing is they're also adding individual weapon solo leaderboards now. So it's not just the main top 100. There will be a top 100 for every single weapon type, which is really cool as well. Gives a lot more people the opportunity to hit that top 100 and get access to the Prestige store with Lady Luck for the Dauntless difficulty items and the gold crown and all that stuff. So really cool adjustments there. Moving on, I went over all this, the reward cache and the challenges that are coming as well in my previous video, so I'll post a link to that. Be sure to check that out. That goes all in depth on how the new reward cache is going to work. I'll read this off real quick though. The reward cache is a seasonal store replacing the vault that offers a wide range of goods in exchange for seasonal currency. A season will be roughly the length of 2 hunt passes. Here you'll find a number of items including new weapon and armor skins, as well as Aether Sparks, patrol keys, and classic rewards from previous hunt passes. Unlock rewards using seasonal coins and crystals from new daily and weekly challenges. So that's another big thing that they're adding to the game. It's going to give us an extra activity to do on a daily and weekly basis to gain these currencies for the reward cache more frequently. And time quests that will ask you to slay behemoths, complete escalations, and more. All vault coins have been converted to these new seasonal currencies, so if you had anything left over as of tomorrow when the reset hits, those are all going to be converted over into these coins and crystals that are going towards the new reward cache system. So hopefully you grabbed all the stuff that you wanted before they disappeared in the vault deal that they had going on. Moving on, we have a new event type thing that's going down, the Primal Behemoths and the Perfect Strike. Strange fluctuations in Radiant Aether and Time Energy are being reported across the Shattered Isles. These disruptions are opening up rifts to different pockets in time in the past and the future. Throughout this season, players will get access to 2 timelines, each one bringing new Hunting Grounds challenges as well as new seasonal talent trees, unlocking unique abilities starting this patch with the past and its Perfect Strike ability. So the Mr. Trails did a great video on this. I didn't get early access to it, unfortunately. But the Perfect Strike ability is a really cool unlock that you can get that is almost like a whole little separate mini tree, kind of like in the Slayer's Path, that you're going to be able to switch to and unlock seasonal abilities and bonuses. So interesting setup there. And in correlation with the Perfect Strike ability and these different buffs that we're going to be getting, we also have, and this is the big one, the War Pike and Wound rework. Our combat team has reworked wounding and giving the War Pike some love. So let's jump into all the juicy details for that. First things first, the dodge has a new unique animation which travels farther than a normal dodge and can be used to jump over small ledges. Taking damage no longer reduces the special charge meter. The meter slowed the rate of decay on the special meter. Return damage for all basic attacks to increase overall damage output. So now, because of the rework, the base damage on all the attack combos are going to be slightly increased. So that's nice. You should see some bigger numbers now on the War Pike. Return damage for all basic attacks to increase overall damage output. Piercing Flurry no longer consumes stamina. That is the stab combo, so that won't drain your stamina anymore. Piercing attacks generate 2% of the special meter per hit. Harvesting attacks generate 7. Harvesting attacks are the spin combo ones. Ammo now only has 4 levels of quality, 1 through 4, based on meter threshold when stored. The equivalent percentages is 10, 33, 66, and 90. Piercing attacks now deal 100% of base damage as part damage and 133% of damage as wound damage. The Munitions Amplifier Mod, and this is the other thing, not only did they rework the pike itself, but because the weapon itself changed, they had to adjust some of the mods. So here's the changes to the mods. The Munitions Amplifier Mod now provides an additional 25% quality to stored ammo. The Savage Wellspring Special now has a fixed duration of 10 seconds. Ammo quality now affects the amount of critical chance for Savage Wellspring up to 30%. They decreased the concussive payload aim time by 15%. The lunge from Pike Charge now interrupts behemoths. Before, when you did the run and then the stab, it was just a powerful normal attack. Now you can actually interrupt behemoths with that move, so that's pretty cool. The Pike Charge lunge base damage has been increased to 250 from 210, so that's a 40-point increase there. The Pike Charge lunge now triggers more consistently. And lastly, the HUD meter now has threshold markings. An ammo icon art has been updated, making it easier to distinguish between different ammo quality levels. So you'll be able to tell whether it's the normal or the supercharged ammo. So really, really cool there. And then moving on to the wounding changes, striking a wounded part no longer deals increased part damage. Again, this goes back to them saying that they want wounds to be a whole separate thing now and not just a additional modifier that stacks with part damage. Really, it's its own kind of entity now. When a part is wounded, it will remain in that state for 15 seconds. Wounded parts have a new VFX that show aether leaking from the wound. Parts can be wounded even if the part has already been broken, and breaking a part while it is wounded will not end the wounded state. So before, anytime you wounded a part, the second that part got broken, the wound would disappear and it wouldn't be useful anymore. Now, even if the part is broken, you can re-wound it again to help get these buffs for you and your team. And moving on to the buff, the player who wounds a part will enter an Aether Rush state, gaining plus 15% damage, attack speed, movement speed, and stamina regeneration for 20 seconds. Other players, and this is the big one, other players can also enter this Aether Rush state by dealing 1500 damage to wounded parts. This damage can be split over multiple wounded parts. So if you're really fast as the War Pike user to get multiple wounded parts at the same time, and they're all over the behemoth, your teammates can do 1500 damage to any number as long as the total is 1500 damage to any number of those already wounded parts, and then they can enter that in Aether Rush state, gaining that 15% damage, stamina, attack speed, and so on. So really big buff there, and I'm curious to how that's going to work in groups. It's going to make the War Pike way more viable. It's a really nice buff. And lastly, if a player enters Aether Rush while it is already active, instead of ending, its duration will be refreshed. So as long as you're keeping those wounds on, this is potentially a big 15% damage, attack speed, movement speed, and stamina regeneration buff that you can consistently put on your entire party as long as they're hitting your wounded parts. So really, really cool there. And I'm sure I'll be making a video on all these official wound changes, and I'll actually get some real gameplay for you guys to show it off a little bit more in depth. But on paper, it looks really, really good, and I'm excited about it. So that's pretty cool. Moving on, we have the Time Strike Hunt Pass. Kind of went over the sneak peek in my previous video. A new Hunt Pass harkens back to the days of old. The armor set at level 50 has been enhanced even further with premium VFX, and there are bonus armor skins along the track designed to mix and match with it. You can also earn 100% of your platinum back from the Elite track purchase by making it to the end of the Hunt Pass, so they are keeping that. Moving on, some trials changes. They've now added the Silver Tonic pack to the Lady Luck Break Store for 150 steel marks, which contains 25 Aether Drive tonics, Frenzy tonics, and Blitz tonics. So if you're low on those tonics and you've got steel marks to spare, it's a nice little tonics potion pack that you can get. They also added the Gold Tonic pack to the Lucky Break Store for 150 gilded marks, the gold one, so a little bit harder, but you get 50 of all those tonics, Aether Drive, Frenzy, and Blitz tonics. Lastly, we have upgraded our internal anti-cheat tools. It will now be easier to verify suspicious times on Trials leaderboards and ban cheaters. Because of this, players will now require Windows 7 or later to play on PC. So they're cracking down, they got the ban hammer out. It should be a lot more even playing field for people now. We shouldn't have too much to worry about. But really excited about those trial changes too. That increased leaderboard count for the individual weapons is going to be really nice, especially for the people that didn't main strikers or hammers or chain blades. They can do any weapon they want now and have the potential to get in that top 100. So really cool. The other cool thing is, I'm pretty sure if you have a top time in one of the individual weapon leaderboards, you will also get your name on the overall top 100, but it will only take your fastest time across all of them to put in that main top 100. So you don't have to worry about people getting multiple like top 100s across the board type of thing. For the main one, it's only going to take and upload your fastest one, which is what I believe it is now. If you typically do it with multiple weapons, it only posts your name once with the fastest weapon that you used. Moving on to balance changes for Behemoths. Charog got some updates. Spore Struck Charog's poison vents no longer stagger slayers on hit. This was a big one. It was super annoying. I'm sure you guys have run into it. Anytime he does that poison aether vent attack, you would sit there and get stuttered 50 million times. It was kind of frustrating. Now it will just poison you. It won't stagger you. And they also reduced the number of poison pools generated during the Spore Struck Charog Spore Shot move. So really good updates for Charog. I like the changes. For Ember Main, they added an interrupt window to the end of Deep Frost Ember Main's roll attack. His animation is a little harder to time than the normal Ember Mains for his initial charge. So adding a little bit of an extra interrupt window for his roll attack is pretty beneficial. It'll allow you to kind of read his moves a little bit better and give us more interrupt opportunities. As for the updates for War Pike, we already went over that. Moving on to bug fixes for gameplay. All sources of incoming healing are now properly affected by the healing boost nodes in the Slayer's Path, which means it's now applied to Assassin's Vigor, Stunning Vigor, and Vampiric cells in particular. So before, the bonuses from the Slayer's Path weren't affecting those cells, now they were. So that'll be a nice little boost to those cells that aren't frequently used right now. For the hunting grounds, they fixed a bug where players could hear Spore Struck Ember Main's audio from across the map. Never run into that, but cool that they fixed it. For cosmetic updates, they fixed a bug where some players couldn't hear the Pufflehopper's repeater skin bask in its glory slayer. I just picked it up and it's actually pretty funny. It just sounds like a squeaky toy going off every time you pull the trigger. Heartfire cosmetics visual effects will now appear correctly. And lastly, fixed a bug where the rocks on the Rocky Rest emote store preview would not rotate. Moving on to environment, they fixed an issue where players could spawn inside a mountain after falling off the cliff in the hunting grounds. They fixed a hole in the ground on the Hades Reach map. They improved the behemoth spawn locations in Hades Reach so that they don't spawn inside of terrain. And lastly, they fixed an issue where some jump vents would trigger unprompted movements after landing. And moving on, for Ramsgate, fixed a bug where players would get stuck in the kneeling position if multiple slayers or players were reforging their weapons at the same time. Quest updates, the Shroud clones no longer count towards Kill X Behemoth quest requirements. I didn't even know they were counting. That's interesting. Slaying a Scorchstone Hellion now consistently counts towards the Wildfire Rumor quest, so that'll make that a little bit easier. For UI changes, recommended power and resistance for hunts will now correctly factor in any power bonuses unlocked in the Slayer's Path. They fixed a bug where some players would not see the DPS meter while in the training grounds. Airstrikes are now linked to Admiral Zai in the Slayer's Path and are found in his crafting menu. Players can no longer sidestep level requirements by changing their loadout while matchmaking. They fixed a bug where the objective tracker HUD wasn't displaying quests while on a hunt. Fixed an issue where players could not see an updated maximum stamina amount in the HUD until they spent the stamina. The end of hunt screen now shows the number of seconds remaining before players are taken back to Ramsgate. Behemoth names are no longer overlap in the hunt map. Buff icons are now smaller as intended. The Twin Suns exotic repeaters are now upgraded from the dedicated exotic screen instead of the barrel screen. Players can no longer change their selection during a core opening animation. Players will now see Slayer's Path milestones, Roman numerals, centered before and after every journey node unlock animation. And lastly, fixed various typos and errors across all of the text. And last but not least, for audio, music transitions between battle states are now smoother and less jarring. So yeah, a lot of updates this time around. We got some big changes coming that I'm really excited about. We got the huge War Pike update to kind of recap. We got the Trials new events going on with the way that our timing is going to be done, as well as the solo weapon-specific leaderboards. And of course, we've got the new Hunt Pass, the really cool-looking Aztec-themed armor, all with premium VFX. So really cool stuff. Really looking forward to checking it out tomorrow. But if you guys found this video helpful, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and be sure to slap that like button as well. As always, if you're not a member of the Glitch Gang, be sure to click those links down in the description. Join the Glitch Gang Discord. We'd love to have you guys. We got over 200 members in there that are always looking for new players to hunt with. We're growing more and more every day, and we also do a lot of giveaways anytime we reach milestones on the channel. So be sure to jump in there. We'd love to have you. But yeah, until the next time, you guys, I hope you had a great day. I'll see you all in the next one. Later. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Also, if you're looking to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, then be sure to click the link in the description and join the Glitch Gang Discord server. We continue to grow every day, and it's filled with all your favorite game discussion channels, as well as several LFG channels to help you find that perfect group for your next hunt or raid. Lastly, if you're new to the channel and want to keep up to date with all my future content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Hope you all had a great day, and I will catch you on the next one.